right. Is it cool if we pop in? You
We are
are
not-
on,
we are not
McShay.
Bill-
We
are
are not
Bill
Bill and Michelle.
but it looks like you.
But we are here with Bill and Michelle.
How's your name after it?
Yeah, but we wanted to pop on real quick and share our story. And actually, what's really interesting is our journey of how pretty much everything started with Mark. And so just wanted to say thanks, Vince, for putting this on. And Shannon, thank you so much for having us here and inviting us here. So let me start.
Sure.
I'll start because my introduction to Mark was a little different. And it came through audio, in our car on our way to Thanksgiving in 2011. So I was, at that time, I had no idea what this whole internet marketing, home-based business profession was at all. I was still a second grade teacher. And what most people didn't know is I was pretty burnt out and I was done with my job. Like I was trying to figure out ways to leave. But was so not professionally developed mindset-wise or anything, and had no interest in doing anything else. I just thought maybe I'll hop into another teaching job. So Andrew, as we're driving Thanksgiving, says, hey, can we listen to this guy who I think is really powerful named Mark Hoverson, rather than listening to the radio? Because I really want to get better at closing high ticket sales. There's something that I'm doing as like a little side part-time thing so we can make some extra money so we can actually see each other and afford a nice life. And I went, hell no. I want to listen to music. This like personal development stuff is ridiculous. Like who needs that? And then he kept persisting on and we ended up listening for, it was like a 2.5 hour ride, right? 2.5 hours. And here's what I know is that I honestly don't know what he talked about. I wasn't in the space to be able to learn and take it in. But what I do remember, it was the first time I felt like I had listened to something that spoke to my soul and made me realize that there was something bigger out there. And the way that he made me feel, without even knowing him, he just made me feel important. And it was the first time that I actually realized that there were really, really good people out there. And then I would say 6 months later, went to our first No Excuses Summit, and I was still a spouse at that time, and actually met you, Shannon, and met Mark. And Andrew had been, and he'll share his story with Mark. But I guess you and Mark had been talking for a little while, and I was petrified to talk to anybody. I was, the wife in the corner. And both of you came over and gave us the biggest hugs that I had ever experienced from perfect strangers for me. And that's when I realized that this space was somewhere, it was like, oh, these are the people I'm supposed to be with. And so honestly, for me, Mark kickstarted my ability to become curious in something way, way bigger than I had ever expected. And so for me now, just, with a couple of calls where he'll shoot me a message and go, hey, do you have 3 minutes? And it turns into an hour-long conversation now. Or some of the things that happened at our event last year, and he was just pouring into us at our VIP party of, you have to make sure that people feel genuine care and concern for you, make them feel needed, make them feel like a community. I mean, those are the things that when I think of Mark, that's what I think of, is just his genuine want and need to make people feel like they're important. And I know that's what you guys do. I know that's what you do as a family. And I could not be more grateful that you made me listen to that, because I don't know where I would be if it wasn't for what happened that Thanksgiving back in 2011. So my heart is fully blessed and so happy to support in any way that we possibly can to just continue to keep growing your guys' legacy and just being the impact that I know that you guys are.
Yeah, I think looking back, Kate, like Kate said, maybe being the spouse and not really being into, what we were trying to do here. Mark, getting exposed to Mark was one of the biggest turning points for her, in believing in herself and seeing what she could accomplish. And I'm just thankful and grateful to Mark, and always have been, mostly for that, more so for that than, he was the reason we made our first dollar online.
Yep.
He taught us something, and we made $494 in one night. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we did that in an hour and a half. And it was Mark that taught us what to do to make that money. But better than the money and the things he taught us to be more successful was lifting people up, is what Mark does. And lifting Kate up. And remember seeing Kate, Mark was up speaking at that event, I look over at Kate, and went from spouse that wasn't so sure, like, was this something I want to do, to bawling and like, this is where I need to be. And Mark was just an inspiration for her, and it's been an inspiration for me. But I think more than the marketing stuff, and like Finale said, like leads and all that stuff. What I've learned from Mark, when you like think about like Solomon CEO and the different things that he's done and put out into the market, it teaches you to be just a good person. He just taught me to be a good man, a good husband, and he's clearly a great dad. And not only does it lift up so many people in this industry, it's just your kids and how amazing your kids are, and your family is. It's because of the type of person and leader that Mark is. So we're just incredibly grateful. Love you guys, care so much about you. And Vince, thank you for putting this together. But you've had an incredible impact on us, and lifted up us, and lifted up so many people out there. And just so grateful and blessed to have you in our life.
Absolutely. And if any of you are watching this, then I mean, I'm living proof that impact, again, is not skill set, it's how you make people feel, and that's what the Hoverson family does. And so keeping that legacy alive and keeping that impact growing, I mean, gosh, you never know who you're going to touch, and so any little bit helps. And just that would just, I know, make our hearts full. So definitely make sure that you go donate. Love you guys.
You guys are the cutest. Thank you so much for those kind words. Love you guys. Enjoy that cold weather in Minnesota.